Listen, I want to respond to a comment that was made on my last video where I was talking about AI entering the workforce in the future. And I said that I think that AI should replace physically intense jobs, jobs that strain humans physically. And here comes Glenn, okay, and he commented this on the last video. The first thing that I want to say, very straightforward and clear with you, Glenn. I agree. I completely agree. If you like doing construction, do construction, right? You're not hurting anybody. If you like doing construction, go ahead, do it. But also, I feel like you have been misled to believe that your work that you did is not appreciated. Let me tell you something. Society, okay, and nations were built upon the backs of construction workers. So the first important thing that I want to say in this video is thank you. Thank you, Glenn, and every single other construction worker that's retired or still working, right? Thank you. Thank you for your work. You may think that it's insignificant, and you may think that, the smart people that, work in the offices are valued more. And to some extent, in this like crooked world, it's insane. We've all gone crazy. We've all lost our minds. In this world, it is kind of true. But from me personally, I appreciate you as much as I appreciate the smart person working in the office. Because the smart person is crunching numbers, so I don't have to crunch numbers. And you constructed the office so that smart person could crunch numbers. So I just want to let you know that construction, at least for me, is very appreciated. Thank you. Now, for the future, let's look to the future. I said that AI, robots, and machines, and whatever else, whatever other term you want to use, should replace physically hard jobs. But I'm not saying that physically intense work should be just deleted off the face of the earth. That's not what I'm saying. And I don't think that's what's going to happen. Because like you, Glenn, there is a substantial group of people who think that construction and other types of uh, hard work, hard physical work is fun. Is They love it. They love it, like you. And I really don't think that's ever gonna go away. I mean, people just love something, and when they really love it, they're just gonna stick with it. Okay, so it doesn't matter if we're in the 1800s or if we're in the year 2400, right? There's gonna be people who are gonna be building. They're gonna be constructing, and I'm optimistic about the future. And I think that with the entrance of AI into the workforce, we're going to have a lot more liberty of why we are working in the first place. we're going to have more liberty of choosing when we work, what hours we work, where we work, and why we work. And I think every single person on earth has the right to choose that for themselves. But in this, I want to say, capitalistic dominated world, most people don't have that option. Glenn, I want to say you are lucky, but I don't know you. I don't know what you went through in your life. So I won't. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that while you worked in construction and you loved it, somebody else had to work in construction and they hated it. But they had to work in construction because that was the opportunity that they took to provide for themselves, to provide for their family, and just to survive. I think we as the people should have a right to choose what we want to do, when we want to do it, right? And as long as it's nothing that hurts other people, that is just bad for the society in which we live in, go right ahead. If you love a job, if you love a form, a type of work, if you love anything, do it with your full heart. Okay. But the point that I'm making with AI entering the workforce in the future is that we're going to have more liberty over everything. We're going to have more liberty. And as I said, I think that, you know, robot work is going to be a lot cheaper than human work because, yeah, robot work can replace human work, but I think people are just going to be kind of like a little obsessed with human work because it's this thing that in the future is probably not going to be so popular as it is now. So I'm just optimistic for the future, and I'm thinking positively here. I think that all of the stories, and by the way, I do know what you're talking about with the book, the zombie survival guide. I've heard about it. I haven't read it to completion, but I know the concept. And I think with all these stories of the future, where the future is kind of looked at in a negative light, it is not because the creator of that story wants the future to be in that negative state. The creator wrote the story to show us that if we go down this path or that path, we're going to end up something along the lines of his story or her story. The story. We're going to end up something along the lines of the story. And that's why I appreciate people who look negatively at the future because they're being careful about it. And I feel like yeah, we do have to be very careful about the future. But also it is all right to look at the future in a positive light. It is okay to do that. Okay? I don't think that we should just be looking at the consequences, at the bad things that might happen in the future. I think we should also, focus our attention a little bit on the good things. But with that, that's about all I want to talk about today. Well, hold on. Actually, wait. I also saw this comment. I also saw this comment right here. All right. Okay. Okay. You got what you asked for. It's in 1x. All right. Last video, if you were paying attention, the video was in 2 times speed. It's in 1 time speed. What I want you to do is to be pessimistic, but also optimistic. To be negative and positive. There needs to be a balance. That's all I wanted to say. Stay friendly, stay cool, stay awesome, stay true to yourself. And that's about it. Bye bye.